So, I feel a lot better today. I said that I wasn't feeling good all day yesterday on stream, but I feel a lot better today. And like at the end, I was like falling asleep. Like literally, I was like, but it's like that time of month. I get it like this, like, I don't know. Every time, like during this part of the month, I get like really, really tired. I didn't cut my bangs, so I think they look a little bit cuter. So yeah, I feel better. And I'm showered. Got my lotion on. That always like will make you feel better if you have like nice smelling stuff on you. I learned that from Lemon Demon. Oh. What are you doing? Actually, let me put on here. There we go. Yeah, I'm not playing Monkey Ball, as I said yesterday. I'll probably, the next time I play it, will be when I actually do my speedrunning. And right now I am at... Well, I'm gonna be honest, the 10th level is very, very hard. But I'm around like 3 hours, I think, for the whole thing. 3.5. So yeah, next time I play Monkey Ball will probably be... I'm going kind of hard on like training for it. So yeah, I want it to be like really like as flawless as I can get it. I mean, I can't do a lot of the things that the pro guys use. I always say this, but they use pause buffering, and I ain't doing that. I miss Roblox. I haven't played it in a long time. Oh my god, yeah, I was just like really, really tired and hot. I don't know what the heck was wrong with me yesterday. Ow. The helly? I don't know. Yeah, there's not really to do on Poke Farm at the moment. My freaking laptop, I was worried that I wasn't going to be able to stream again because OBS wasn't working. And like it wasn't, I don't know, it was glitching out like really bad and it was like freaking me out. It was like, what is going on? It wasn't like connecting to the camera and it wasn't like showing any windows. It's kind of weird. But okay, so then I tried to reset my laptop and it wasn't like, it was like resetting and it like had that resetting screen and it was like stuck on that screen. I was like, okay, maybe it's doing something. And then I came back like 10 minutes later, it was still doing it and like freaked me out. So I was trying to like reset it and I don't know, it like wasn't powering off. It was freaking me out, but eventually I got it to power off. But like I think that there's like a update, like a Windows update. So I think it was trying to do that, but I said no. I said hell no. Yeah, I think I'm just getting the DS emulator started. Bye bye. This game, I swear, the math problems are just absolutely ridiculous. I think it's really fun and interesting, but it really is like, what the hell? Yeah, like I said, I was like falling asleep, so what happened? The room they found themselves in was divided into two separate areas by a curved wall. The glass window built into a wall made it impossible to see into the other side of the division. Jumpy walked through the window and looked through. What the hell? What the hell? He wasn't sure what else to say. Uh-oh. In the center of a room shaped like a quarter circle, a mannequin lay on what looked like a medical exam table. It looks so creepy. You know, people have like a fear of mannequins. I don't really have that. Like, I don't have that at all, actually. It's like, some people like are really, really afraid of them. I don't know. I don't like feel like that. Jumpy jumped a little. He hadn't noticed Lotus come up next to him. I don't think that thing is gonna suddenly sit up. Well, I don't know. I mean, look at all those cables sticking out of it. If we press the wrong button, I don't know. Stop it. Just thinking about it, it's terrifying. She was gripping her arms, the knuckles on her hands white. I don't get that. Why do they say that? Yeah, my knuckles are white. It's such a weird thing. They always put that in like literature. I just think it's weird. It was then that Jumpy noticed Clover. She was still standing near the entrance of the room. Her face had the appearance of calm, but it was drawn and somehow sad. There's something almost pitiful about her. Oh yeah, her brother, they couldn't find him. Yeah, I don't know, I have like a really bad feeling that he's dead. Jumpy walked over to her as kindly as he could, spoke. Are you okay? Clover looked away. What are you talking about? Man, I'm just worried about you. You've been real quiet. Well, I can't be quiet if I want to. I really don't like the character you play as. Like, I just can't stand him. Like, I just want to... Well, I mean, of course you can. I just feel like he gets mad when people show, like, emotion. Or if they don't give him the emotion that he wants. He, like, gets really upset by it. Like, he doesn't understand why people are acting the way they are. But at the same time, he thinks he's, like, empathetic. It's weird. Okay, I can be quiet if I want. Just leave me alone, okay? Come on, you know I can't do that. We gotta work together. Clover bit her lip and was silent. Jumpy, you just don't get it. Her cry took Jumpy by surprise, and he stumbled backwards for a few steps. My brother's not the kind of person who just leave me behind. Something happened to him. Oh god. Something bad. Jumpy had nothing to say. Lotus jolted from her mannequin nightmares by Clover's voice, turned towards them. What happened? Clover's eyes slid to Lotus and back to Jumpy. Look, just don't bother me, okay? Leave me alone. Finished, she turned around. Before Jumpy or Lotus could say anything, Clover had begun to walk quickly away. Hey, wait, Clover, hold on. Might as well have just been talking to the wall, for all the notice she took of his cries. Not even slowing down, she made for a doorway cut in the wall in front of her. Not even slowing down, she passed through the doorway. Uh-oh. Without warning, an iron gate fell from the ceiling like a portcullis, sealing Clover in. What the heck? What the heck's going on here? Clover grabbed a hold of the iron bars and shook them as hard as she could. Hang on, I'll get it open. Jimmy grabbed the bars and pulled. In a moment, Lotus joined him. The three of them pulled as hard as they could, but... Damn it, it's not moving. Wait. You're just gonna give up just like that? No, I'm not giving up. This has gotta be another one of those zero puzzles. If it is, then there's gotta be a way to open it. Jumpy nodded. Just what I was thinking. Now all we gotta do is find it. Lotus and I can look around here. Clover, you're gonna have to see if you can find anything in there. Yeah, I'm on it. Uh-oh. Jumpy, do something, please. A window made of really thick glass. I don't even think a bullet could break it. Silver handrail. Okay. A whole bunch of steel lockers. The 9 on the right have little red lights on them. Red lights, huh? Well, it can't hurt to give these babies a try. Yep, just as I thought. Locked tight, all 9 of them. wonder if there's anything important in there. Oh, cold medicine. Ethanol. I wonder if this is for antisepsis. Well, it says... And it says ethanol. Is that different from the regular ethanol? Come on, it's common knowledge. It's a powerful cleaner. It can erase marks left by a permanent mark. Actually, I don't mean to be like the well, actually kind of guy, but you can get rid of permanent marker without just alcohol. Isopropyl alcohol. It's a tip. This is the computer. Power's on. You have to use like a little bit of elbow grease, but it'll come out. This is the computer. The power's on. Where's a power button? That's a waste of time. I don't see a power cable. Ooh. This thing is even connected to a main computer though. It's got a monitor, keyboard, mouse, but that's it. Just sticking the power cable isn't gonna do anything. Oh, I don't know about that. Power cable, huh? What's in the box? It looks like it's quite full. As far as I could tell, it's a bunch of notes about some kind of experiments. It's not really technical and stuff. I don't really get it. This is a keyhole. This looks like a keyhole for the activation key. I think this thing's supposed to power that machine in the other room. Well, it doesn't appear to be doing that. I wonder how we're supposed to turn it on. It's a really old type of keyboard. There are two levers here. Do you think they activate something? Well, why don't you move one? Alright, I'll give it a try. Doesn't look like anything's happened. Until the clock have stopped moving. The clock may stop, but the time goes on. Okay, the little Mr. Poet. There's a lot of stuff here. I don't know if we can use any of these. Well, I can't say for sure that I know how to use at least one of these things. The one on top, I think it's a power cable. Power cable, huh? Okay. Looks like the control for some kind of electric lock. Red light is on. Ah, then it's gotta be locked. There's a green light just below it, although that one isn't lit. It's not lit. How are we gonna unlock it? There's no keyhole, no card reader, no keyboard for putting in the password. No idea. Well, I have a power cable. Is this like an examination table? There's a creepy mannequin in here, guys. I think this thing is a monitor for whatever experiment they're running here. There's a bunch of stuff on here like resistance, value, and voltage. Power's off, so there's nothing on it right now. I don't know what this is. This thing looks like it's a voltmeter. How does she know all this? She's smart. And is this the control for that? Gosh, there's so many dials. Why don't you try turning one of them? Nothing. There's no power here, guys. I turned the dial a whole bunch, but even if I turn all the switches on, nothing happens. I wonder what they washed here. There are these weird colored stains all over the sink. Ew. I don't know what kind of table it is, but part of it's all black. There's a pen lying over there. I think someone probably used it to make the table black. Shut up, Jumpy. Clover, do you think you can erase it? Yeah, sure. Oh, this is a permanent marker. Jumpy, do you know how to erase ink from a permanent marker? Erase ink from a permanent marker, huh? They're just doing that on purpose. The writers thought it was really funny. Give me just a minute, Clover. I'll be right back. They thought that shit was hilarious when they were typing it. Those are the stairs I just came down. Bars in the gate are just above me. Okay, power cable. This monitor doesn't have a power cable, so one of the cable needs to be connected to a monitor. The other end needs a plug-in under the desk. Alright. Well, shoot, I can't use this. What's wrong? The cable has 3 prongs, but the socket only has 2 holes. It's not gonna fit, is what I'm saying. In other words, we're gonna need a plug to change the power cable to 1 with 2 prongs. Uh-oh. These lockers are a little larger than ones on top. See if there's any useful in here. Uh-oh. I don't think I got everything. It's a red light on the display, that means it's locked. We can get that light to turn green. Maybe we can get Clover back. Well, I do have the ethanol. Clover, use this ethanol. You should be able to wipe off that permanent ink with it. What am I gonna wipe with? Well, your clothes, of course. Kidding. Please don't look at me like that. You're scaring me. Jumpy, you're so funny. Did she erase it? She used the cloth on the table. Use? Soak it in ethanol and then use it to wash out all the stuff from the permanent marker. Alright, okay, so I gotta soak the cloth with ethanol. Well, she's got the cloth, but she seems to be having a little trouble. A bottle of ethanol. She's ready. I should ask her to get to work on that stuff on the table. Why, though? Soak the cloth in ethanol and... Jumpy, it's working. It's wiping the permanent ink off. Some kind of weird drawing under all the permanent ink. There's a bunch of numbers in some kind of grid. Okay, I gotta get the freaking notepad out. You know I gotta get this shit out. Okay, this is where it starts. You got a pen and notepad. I have a notepad. If you write the numbers down and hand them to me. Alright, I wrote down all the numbers from the desk on here. Paper with numbers on it acquired. The material has been added to the file screen. Wait. Clover's note. 3. Oh shit. How do I do this? Like, 3. Okay. So like that, is that fine? Okay. That kind of makes sense, right? Shit. All right, so there's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers. Missing, whatever that means. Looks like tic-tac-toe or something, but I don't know. Maybe it's the code to the door, or maybe a locker or something. Oh, there's 9 spaces. What if it goes to the lockers? Stand for various pieces of equipment. This cable is connected to. One side of this thing is in the room with us. The other side extends to the laboratory where Clover is. The console in front of us is connected to the device in the laboratory. Just, I don't know, I see a cable right there. You see it? If we want to open this door, I bet we need to do something. I love that. I love that so much. Okay. I probably have to instruct her to do something. Clover? How are the power cables over there? You know, I gotta get comfortable in this fucking chair. I have this really cool pillow. I call it my shrimp. It looks like a shrimp. A shrimp. It's really comfortable. Just wrap it around me. And oh, it's so soft. What do ya mean? Does the plug have 3 prongs or 2? I don't know what you're talking about. Let me go look. She knew what a freaking voltage meter. She didn't know what 3 prongs on a power cable is. She does kind of have to crouch down and get a look under there. That doesn't make any sense. The cable on the monitor has it's got 2 little metal things. What does that mean? Hey, can you unplug that cable and bring it over here? Okay. I can unplug it. It's connected to the main computer. I can't take it over to you. Damn it. Well, how about just the plug? Well, maybe more like a connector? Sort of thing that makes the plug with 3 metal thingies into a plug with 2 metal thingies. It's fine. I would like her character. She's fine. That's exactly what we're looking for. Can you hold on for a little bit? Look at Clover. I'm kind of covering her face. All right, unplugged. Hand it to you over at the bars, okay? Is there anything else you need to hand to me? Something sticking out of the mannequin's head, like wires or something. What the hell were they doing in there? Why is she all quiet now? They were doing experiments on humans, probably. I feel all like tense. Every time I play this, I'm like, someone in there. Oh. Was that behind me? Oh, she looks sad. It's her back. There are a bunch of cables on it. Somebody cut the outer stuff off of the cables, and I could see the wires inside. Okay, hand me the power cable. There you go, the 2-prong plug. Cool. That's a 2-prong plug that we can use to convert the power cable from the 3-prong cable into a 2-prong. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. Cool. Now we can go. I'm good at puzzles. Alright. Pretty sure this will work. I know the desk I go. Let's just plug this thing into a monitor. Alright, that ought to do it. Alright. I don't think anything's going to happen. Why not? It's not connected to the main computer. Never know until you try. Somebody push the button on the front of the monitor. The soft element turned on. Streams of letters that made no sense. You'd hoped it would turn on, but you hadn't expected this. It's actually working? So insane. Isn't that kind of weird? It's not connected to the main computer, right? There's just this keyboard and monitor. The only cable connected to this thing is the power cable we just plugged in. Maybe it's a wireless display. Clearly this was a reasonable explanation of Lotus. It connects to your computer wirelessly, hence the name. We've been living in a cave? It's certainly not, but is that normal? Yeah, at least where I worked. Lines of letters suddenly stopped and disappeared. The only thing left on the screen was the word pass, followed by a colon. Looks like we need to enter a password. Again. There must be a hint around here somewhere. Is it these numbers? What are you gonna do? I'm gonna just sit here. Rose pulled over to the nearest chair and dropped herself down onto it in front of the keyboard. For a second, she stared at the screen. They never, like, show, like, art. Made her hands, knuckle popping. Pushed her back left and right. All right, let's kick some ass. Lotus smiled to herself and rubbed her hands together in anticipation. Oh my god. Then, before Jumpy had time to blink, she was typing at incredible speed, the click-clack of the keys running together like machine gun fire. What? Jumpy was, for once, at a loss for words. Didn't expect that, did you? Of course I didn't. Lotus grinned, pleased with herself. Well, at any rate, that was pretty amazing. Giggle. Did you fall for me again? I knew it. Whoa, whoa. What do you mean again? I'm not into you. He's totally in her. I know. Don't be stubborn, shy boy. I'm being stubborn. I'm not shy and I'm not a boy. I'm a young, healthy 21-year-old man. Probably why I don't like him, because... Ew. I'm not gonna fall for an old lady like you. Oh. Suddenly the guttural roar of a furious animal filled the room. Oh my god, look at her fucking face. Melissa's hand suddenly stopped and her shoulders stiffened. Old lady. Did you just say old lady? Oh crap, thought Jumpy. I went too far. Oh, it was a nice life while it lasted. I had enough of you. Go somewhere else. You're bothering me. What? Why are you feeling like that? I bet he's gonna say that. What the heck? Why are you feeling like that? Trying to open this from here. You're distracting me. Go. Now. Lotus waved her hand in the universal gesture of dismissal. Jumpy was clearly not wanted. Time to cut my losses, Jumpy thought, and left as quietly and inoffensively as it could. Jumpy wandered around the room for a while, looking for anything that might help find a password for the computer. Unfortunately, you're useless. Found no clues whatsoever. He asked Clover if there was anything useful in the laboratory, but her answer was no. Damn, we thought, looks like we've hit a dead end. But just as he was about to tell Lotus that his search had returned nothing. Yeah, right. Bullseye. Jumpy, I did it. Excited cheering erupted from the near of the monitor. He hurried back to find Lotus looking rather smug. She gestured for him to look at the screen, and he did. The strange text before him was gone. In its place was something entirely different. Uh-oh, here we go. 9 squares arranged by a 3 by 3 square. What is that? I don't have any idea. I don't have any idea. Just showed after I cracked the password. I think it's a puzzle. Certainly looks like one. She spoke. Lotus jumped up. Huh? Aren't you gonna, I don't know, do more computer stuff? I can't do anymore. Won't let me do any more programming. See the keyboard? Nothing. So there's nothing more I can do. She did a lot. She certainly had done her part. In fact, without Lotus, it probably would have run completely aground. Shouldn't rely on other people so much. From here on out, he told himself he would rely on no one else. Well, you have to work together as a team. It's not, there's no I in team. Jumpy crossed his arms and stared at the puzzle. Oh, shit. Did he hear a noise just now? Yeah, I did. It sounded like something unlocking. Where'd it come from? Where did it come from? Look, Jumpy, the lights on the lockers are green. You must have unlocked it with the computer puzzle. There's more than one key in here. This one's small. It looks like it goes to some sort of machine. This one has an Earth symbol on it. I think the Earth symbol matches the key for the door in the A deck. Well, if that's the case, we probably don't need the Earth key right now. Alright then, Earth key. I just took you way deep in my pocket. Now as for the other key... you, it's in the shape of, I'd say it's not for a door. Oh. I wonder, do you think maybe this is the activation key for that thing? Activation key. Yes, it has to be. I feel good about this. Okay. So yeah, I might go to the computer. It was at the moment that he heard a voice behind him. It was Clover. Hey Jumpy, do you have a minute? He put the puzzle aside for a moment and walked over to Clover. What's up? Well, never mind. Hey, hold on a minute. What does... Sorry, just forget about it. It's nothing. Before he could say anything else, she spun around and ran back to Den's. What the hell was that? After a few minutes to see if she would return, Jumpy sighed, shook his head, and went back to searching. Okay, let's put this bad boy in. Shape makes it seem like it goes to the machine. Alright, I'm turning it on. Okay, the monitor's on. It's full of letters. Showing some kind of a warning. Power restored to the experimental device. Emergency system will activate in the event of abnormal subject behavior. Okay. Typing on his keyboards and doing squat. So turn this on. The lever is down now. Not very impressive. Let me let my dog out. Hold on. Okay, what do we do? Jumpy, thank you so much for everything. What's this all about? And also, I'm sorry I messed up. Hey, can we talk about this when we get you out? Just hang on, Clover. I'm gonna get you out of there right away. Hey. I think this is the first time I've actually seen a genuine smile out of this chick. A window made of really thick glass. Doesn't matter what I hit it with. It might as well be made of steel. Okay, what's going on here? Okay, this thing in here is on now. Yeah, that's because we activated the power over on this side. Can you play with it a little? I'll turn this dial here. Turn, turn, turn. I don't think it's working. Nothing happened. What folds? The monitor, there's a whole lot of cables in her tail. Got the scribbles, which seemed like they were useless. Short flight of stairs. Did she bless with us, or maybe if you increase the voltage? Roger. Will do. Okay, I'm gonna go all the way to the max voltage. Max voltage? Hey, wait, Clover. Ah, shit. Uh-oh. What? I think, holy fuck. Oh my god! The mannequin's head. Uh-oh, that's not good. Okay, that's not good. What the hell? Fire detected, fire detected. Energy system will be activated. Evacuate the room. Oh man, that's not good at all. Monitor looks like it was almost melted by the heat from the fire. Jumpy, it's so hot in here. Help me. Mannequin's head is on fire. Okay, it looks kind of funny, but there's no laughing mannequin. Pour the ethanol on it. If I don't do something, Clover will. Oh, fuck. Damn, the gate's still shut. Huh. Okay, the screen's all red. Malfunction has been detected. Experiment discontinued. It says the emergency system has been activated. Turn it off. Quick. Okay, we have to save Clover. I don't know what to do. Oh, this is green now. Jumpy, the light turned green. The lock must be open. You can't just leave, though. Oh. I'm surprised she didn't ask, like, or she didn't say, like, let's go. Oh, wait, what? Oh, Jumpy. Come on, kid, jump. She's safe. Oh man, that smoke is some serious business. Time to close the door again, I think. Oh, are you okay? She's coughing so hard she can't even talk. Of course I'm not alright. What the hell took you so long, you big jerk? This game. I was gonna say it's a harem game, but I think I was the one who made it a harem game because I went with these guys. Save me, Jumpy, save me. Sorry, I was going as fast as I could. You two can do this later. Right now, we need to get the hell out of here. Fire's not gonna stay in that room forever. Let's go. The green light is lit. It's lit. Alright, let's go. What was the point of this? What was the point of this? Nothing? What was the point of this? Maybe Clover and Lotus leapt out of the laboratory, slamming the door shut behind them. All three collapsed against the wall, breathing heavily. Jimmy's heart was pounding in his chest, and his whole body felt weak. He inhaled gulps of clear air, and with each one, he could feel his body beginning to calm down. "You all right?" They nodded to each other and started down the hallway. Before long, they found a few new doors, but all of them were locked. Soon, they'd all tried all the doors but one. The final door sat in the corner of the hallway. Jumpy grabbed the door handle and was able to pull it open when a voice cried out behind him. It was neither Clover nor Lotus, but he recognized it. There was no diet. There was no doubt. Jumpy! He spun around. There at the other end of the hall, Jumpy saw human figures running towards him. Why are they talking like that? Like, it's so weird. He saw three human figures running towards them. June Sandin 7 stopped short in front of Jumpy and his companions, gasping for air. "Hey, what are you guys doing here?" "What?" Before he could finish, Clover spoke. Guys, could you come over here?" She was standing near the end of a small hallway that branched off to the right. The rest of them ran over to her, curious as to what she found. There was something on the wall at the end of the hallway. Map of the ship's interior. It said sea deck in the upper left corner. Most likely they assumed it was a map for the floor they were on. Door 7 and door 8. The map confirmed that they already both knew. Both doors eventually led to the hallway where they found themselves. In fact, yeah, isn't that what I said? Till we find that 9 door, 0 ain't gonna split us up. Might as well get separated for a little while and we'll see each other again. Otherwise, we can't open door 9. That's how the Monterey game works. Jumpy looked at the map of the ship's interior again. Interior. As he looked more closely, his surprise and excitement gave way to weirdness. One by one, the others saw what he'd seen. As one. They all moved back towards the door, Jumpy only had a moment. They went back to the door. He pulled the map of the ship's interior off the wall and put it in his pocket. 6 of them stood in front of the door, arrayed in a semicircle. Santa stepped forward, took hold of the door and spoke, without looking back at the other 5. "Ready? I'm gonna open it." What is that? Is that a scarf? It's such a weird, like, fashion choice. With a deep breath, Santa threw open the door. Ugh, I got something in my eye. They poured through the doorway and into the room. Even without looking around, each one of them knew where they were. They were just where the map had said they would be. The same room that they'd been in not so very long ago. Oh shit. The tremendous central hospital room with empty beds. What about Ace or whatever? I believe I understand what you're saying. 6 of you split into 2 teams and went through doors 7 and 8. Solved the puzzles in the operating room and the laboratory, and then met one another in the hallway after opening your respective lockers. He looked like anyone might. I don't. He looked like feels like anyone might, after only just waking up, but it seemed that his brain was working as well as ever. Okay, that makes sense, I guess. He managed to grasp, summarize, and understand each team's report. Okay, so he's like, he's saying that he's like not out of it. I feel a bit silly from my little show of altruism. I'm sure you'd be back for me. I did hope you would come back, but I confess I didn't think you'd be back so soon. He shook his head with a root. I already forgot about him. We saw each other again and we ain't dead, so I say that's good enough. Someone smiled. Anyway, I guess we gotta get out of this creepy old place. I found the key we need. Oh yeah, we have the Saturn key or some shit in our pocket. Ain't that what I just said? I'm talking about the Jupiter key. We found it in the operating room. Seven tossed something small and metallic towards... Small and metallic, just say the key. Why do they write it like this? On it, someone had engraved a symbol very similar to before. I looked over at June and nodded back. It had to be the Jupiter symbol. I'm gonna let you hold on to that, alright? Yeah, I got it. Jumpy tucked the new key into his pocket. As a group, they now had 3 keys that had not been used. The Earth key, which had been found in the laboratory. The Saturn key card, which had been found in the kitchen. And the Jupiter key, which someone had just handed to Jumpy. Jumpy tucked the new keys into his pocket. June spoke up. Jupiter key is supposed to be for the door at the very end of the long, straight hallway, right? Yeah. The map's right, then it connects to the central staircase. Then next to the stairs. Wait. They were the first words anyone I ever heard out of Clover in some time. They suggested that they weren't going to be very happy words. What about door 3? Look, you saw the map, right? It's the same as 7 and 8. It just leads us back to the big hospital ground. There's no point in seeing what's on the other side of the door. There is a point. At least there is for me. Uh-oh. There were tears in her eyes, but she glared at 7 as hard as she could. She looked very much like a frightened puppy. There wasn't a man alive who could have resisted those eyes. 7 looked anywhere in the room except for Clover and muttered and coughed apologies under his breath. Yeah, you're right, I'm sorry. Snake might be on the other side of the door 3. Clover nodded once. The next person to speak was Ace. Very well. I'll be coming with you then. I've had a nice long rest. I think it's time I was up and about again. Help me, won't you? Huh? Me? Jumpy did the calculations quickly in his head. 4 plus 1 plus 7 equals 12. 1 plus 2 equals 3. It looks like 7 was doing them too. At last, he gave up. Well, I guess that's how it's gotta be, so I'm going with you, huh? Yes. Alright, let's get moving. And so it was decided that Clover, Ace, and 7 would discover what lay beyond door 3. I am scared. Let me take a drink. Seven pulled the lever on the red. Okay, here we go. Hopefully there's not a bloody mess. Okay, let's go. Door opened and Ace, Clover, and 7 jumped through it. 6, 7, 8. After exactly 9 seconds, the door closed noisily. All right. We should get moving. Where are we going? Everyone except Lotus seemed rather confused. Well, it would be a waste of time to just sit around. Let me explain. I get it. We're gonna see if we can get anywhere interesting with the Jupiter key. If we're lucky, we might find a snake. They're at the end of the hallway, lined by individual rooms. Jupiter symbol is engraved on the keyhole. Alright. On it. Jumpy pulled the Jupiter key. Jumpy unlocked the door. He twisted. With a nice sharp click, he felt the door unlock. Alright. Jumpy's companion nodded. He nodded back, then slowly and quietly opened the door. I'm so scared. Inside was exactly what he expected to see from the map of the ship's interior. They were in a tremendous hall, almost like a ballroom, with a massive central staircase. Great, back to the beginning. Are you sure this is a good idea? What do you mean? Well, we already searched every inch of this room, didn't we? I'm asking you if there's any reason we came back here. Uh, the choices, like, don't necessarily matter, it seems like. Sometimes I can't tell if you're smart or just lucky. Siren key, okay. After several long moments, during which it became apparent that Santa had no idea what the cards meant, June took pity on him. Do you remember Santa? On C deck where we are now, there was a big elevator behind the stairs. Next to the elevator, there was a card reader with the Saturn symbol on it. And on A deck, on the door to the left, there was a keyhole with the Earth symbol on it, I think. So the two keys that Jumpy has should let us use the elevator and the door on the A deck. Yes. June smiled, pleased with herself. So did Santa. All right. Whoa. What do you say we split into two teams? Okay. Let's now search the Earth one so you two can search Saturn. I want to go with Lotus. I wanted to go with Lotus. They decided that their initial search should only be brief, only 10 minutes. They meet back near the suitcase, the staircase once they were done. Jumpy and June headed for the elevators. Sure enough, there was a card reader bolted to the wall near the left elevator. He lined up with the Saturn keycard and swiped it through the reader. A light on the upper left corner blinked to light. Great, looks like it's working now. Yeah, right. There was a single button to the right of the elevator door. On the button was an upside-down triangle. There was an up button, there wasn't a down button. So he pushed the down button. Or whichever one. That's kind of creepy. June's voice was excited, but Jumpy could hear a tinge of anxiety. Sweet, it opened. Let's get going. He grinned at June and stepped towards the door. As he was about to set foot in it, he felt a hand on his arm. Whoa, wait. What? I'm not really, I just, oh gosh. Jumpy was at something of a loss. What could she possibly be so frightened of? It's definitely not the first one, because she She doesn't mind the first one. Let's do, I really want to do it because it's like, just see what they say. After a little thought, Jumpy decided that she had to be nervous about being locked up in such a small space alone with a boy. In a way, it was kind of cute. Very demure. It was very demure, as you could say. Is that where the meme came from? I was not expecting that at all. Still, even though it was exactly roomy in the elevator, they weren't going to be pressed up against one another. At least they didn't have to be. Still, it was making her nervous. Jumpy couldn't help but think how innocent she was. Come on. Again, he stepped towards the elevator. And again, he felt himself restrained. He said, wait a minute. Aren't you afraid? Afraid of what? Well, I've never, she'd never been in an elevator with a man alone before? Even so, she still seemed awfully alarmed. I might get wet. What? Down there, it gets soaking wet. Damn it. Jeez. I mean, of course you would. That's the way it works. I mean, I've never heard of anyone getting What is this game? What the fuck is this? I mean, I've never heard of anyone getting soaking wet somewhere else. That's true. You don't mind? Mind what? Getting wet. This, this is so stupid. I'm sorry. I kind of think any guy would do the same thing. What happens, happens, right? If you get the chance, you just gotta go for it. That's what a man's supposed to do, I guess. You're so cool, Jumpy. I really admire you. That doesn't really seem like the sort of thing you'd admire someone for. I'm really scared. This is so... I'm sorry, I feel like kind of uncomfortable. I mean, like you said, you've never done it before. So I don't think I'd be able to last very long, and then it'll be over. Over? Yeah, I'll go to heaven. Heaven? It's like you're kind of floating in space, and then your mind gets fuzzy, and then you pass out. At least that's what I've heard from people who have experienced it. Yeah, I heard that too, although I don't think the same thing happens to guys. Huh? But it would happen to men too, wouldn't it? It would happen to anyone. Once it gets into your body, it's the same thing happens. Well, usually it doesn't go inside the man. I mean, generally. Yes, it does. Well, eventually it will. It's not like you really have a choice. Your body will force you to swallow some of it eventually. What are you trying to do to me? Nothing. I'm not going to do anything to you. I'm just saying that's what happens. It's a psychological reaction to what you're experiencing. Was that really how it happened? It occurred to Jumpy that perhaps that was how it worked. Perhaps he'd been sick in all these years. He had misunderstood life so gravely. Thought terrified him. She didn't seem to be entirely oblivious to Jumpy's mounting confusion and terror. I know most men probably have larger lungs, but even then, I don't think you could hold your breath for 20 or even 10 minutes. Eventually, you'd have to breathe, and then the water would get into your lungs. Once that happened, your body won't be able to get any oxygen anymore, and you'll start to flee that floaty feeling as you pass out. Ha ha ha. Finally, Jumpy understood. He understood what June was trying to say and why she was so scared. Yeah, you're right. It won't last very long. See? She was afraid the only elevator button pointed down. That meant, of course, that the elevator couldn't go any higher than the floor they were on. As he thought about it, Jumpy realized that he hadn't seen elevators on the A or B decks near the central staircase, all of which meant that the elevator can only convey to them to the lower decks. And the floor below the one they were on, D deck, should be completely submerged. That meant... Hey, wait a minute. This elevator came up from somewhere under us, right? Yeah, I guess it did. It didn't open right away after you pressed the button. There was a murder noise like it was moving and then it opened. Yeah, exactly. So take a look inside. Jumpy jerked his head towards the interior of the elevator. It's not wet at all. The walls and even the floor are totally dry. You're right, they are. She looked around the elevator slightly embarrassed. Well, let's test it. Yeah, watch this. There's only two floor buttons, E and C. He pushed the E button and jumped out of the elevator. The door slid shut and they heard the grinding of the motor. That's smart what they're doing. A few moments later, they heard the sound of the elevator door grinding open several floors below. Jumping out of the June and pressed the elevator button again. There's no water. Jumpy couldn't resist puffing out his chest just a little bit. What does that mean? How can the E deck be safe if the D deck is full of water? Here's what I think. The elevator shaft in the E deck must be watertight and separated from wherever the ship's been punctured. Here, let me show you. He put out his notebook and pen and sketched out a rough illustration. That's why the ship hasn't sunk. Shape of the inside keeps it from all filling with water. Yeah, I think that's what's going on. I think that's... Isn't that how the Titanic was? Isn't there like a bunch of like holes? I think it's kind of like this, like for real. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. Jumpy continued talking as he closed the notebook and slid it back into his pocket. So I'm gonna go down and check it out. You stay here, alright? Come on, just do it. He gave June's shoulder a reassuring squeeze and then hopped into the elevator. He pushed the E button and the door began to close. At the last possible moment, June dashed forward, turning sideways, just in time to slip through the gap between the closing doors. Jumpy slammed his finger against the open button, but it was too late. The door had shut. He and June were in the elevator and was heading down to E deck. He was so surprised at June that he didn't even have time to think of what awaited him on the E deck. The elevator stopped and the door slid open. I stepped off onto the floor outside of the elevator. Nothing seemed especially unusual. No fish going... No fish going about their fishy business or jellyfish floating lazily through the water. I don't... What is he talking about? There was, however, a blowfish. Or at least something that looked very much like one. June's cheeks were puffed out and her mouth was a tiny, intense brown. Oh, we'll knock it off. It's just like I thought. This part isn't flooded. Come on, let's look around. There's no water here. June looked nervously, then exhaled. Right. Not flooded at all. There's a whole lot of water. You're right on top of this. What's gonna happen if the ceiling breaks? Jumpy thought about that for a moment. Well, we probably get really wet up there. Anyway, probably could go back as soon as we can once we're done looking around. Lotus and Santa might already be back. Jumpy glanced around the room they found themselves in. First thing he noticed was a set of thick iron bars. They ran the length of the room, separating the left elevator from the right one. Well, we can't go over there. Then perhaps. In the corner of the room that housed the elevators, Jumpy found an opening. He walked up to it and stuck his head around the corner. It's 6. They ran down the hall. They found themselves in front of a door. The door number 6. It was a red bolted to the wall right next to the door, so they can't go in there. Of course, with only 2 people, there wasn't much they could do with it. Yeah, right. On the way back, Tumpy noticed a map on the wall. As it turns out, it was a burnt map of the ship's interior for E-Deck. Ellipses. Huh? So you guys found door 1. We met back up with Santa and Lotus, who'd explained what they'd found. Apparently there was another numbered door in A-Deck, just like the one on E-Deck, beyond the door that the Earth Key opened. According to Santa and Lotus, there was a 1 on the door. All told, they had discovered 2 new doors, a 6 door and a 1 door. It's interesting that the E-Deck wasn't flooded. Lotus was quiet for a moment, lost in thought. Well, we don't know if all of E-Deck was safe. We've only checked out the area in front of the elevator, around the elevator. Even so, it's very interesting. You said the 6th door was there, right? That means Zero planned all this out, even the sinking. That would have been some serious remodeling. I still don't believe they're really on a ship. It just seems like some kind of prop. It's pretty mind-blowing when you think about it. I wonder how long it took. I can't even imagine how much it would have cost. It would have been a ton, that's for sure. Well, that does go along with what Ace was saying. The most reasonable explanation would be that this was done by some organization with access to a whole lot of cash. That thought made them go all quiet for a moment. June bit her lip while Lotus sighed softly to herself, and Santa cracked a stiff neck and stared off into the distance at nothing. I don't think it's a very good idea to stay here. June looked at Jumpy with large, pleading eyes. Yeah, you're right. Ace and his team might be back already. Well, June, Jumpy, and I should be able to open door 1. You guys are leaving me behind? 8 plus 6 plus 5 equals 19. 1 plus 9 is 10. 1 plus 0 equals 1. I'm not tired of just yawning. Alright. Those words were all the impetus they needed. Back to the large hospital room they went. The moment they stepped inside, a tremendous voice echoed across the room. Hey, where the hell did you guys go? It looked as though there was something strange about them. Seven had the look of a man to see a ghost. Ace was just as pale, and Clover looked as though she was only moments from— Uh-oh. No one, no one spoke. What's going on? What happened? What the hell kind of question is that? Someone was trying really hard to be angry, but something had shaken him hard. Oh god. His shoulders were trembling and his voice was strained. Snake was— Snake is— It said Ace spoke. He took a deep breath, closed his eyes, and spoke. Snake is dead. He died just as the ninth man did. I'm gonna cry. That was what I was saying. Do not have a— Never have a favorite character in these kinds of things. Anime, anything like that. Because they're gonna die. Ever, ever have a favorite character. It was as if all the air had suddenly been sucked out of the room. Except he felt his heartbeat quicken, and he realized he was having trouble breathing. He could feel cold sweat beating on his forehead and neck. Junsan and Lotus looked the way he felt. All three were frozen in place, their faces white. Oh my god, that's not true, is it? We should make sure. Yeah, we should. Let's go look at it. They nodded to one another and headed for the number 3 door. Not that way. They stopped short and turned to look at 7. He's pointing at the door with no number. He stuck a screwdriver in there to keep the door from closing all the way. It's not locked, so you can go that way. Where is he? The shower room on the left side of the hallway. Put a broom in there too to keep the door open. We can get in without going through a numbered door, right? Okay, let's go look at the— Let's go look at it. The macabre. Smells horrible. It was pretty awful. I feel like I'm gonna puke. Ew, it was— Ew. Smelled of fish, feces, and burnt meat. It worked its way through Jumpy's nose and down his throat to pound against his interest of his stomach. He put his hands over his mouth and struggled to keep what little was left in his stomach where it belonged. Oh god. They didn't have to wonder where the body was. Looks like there's letters. There's blood everywhere. A few arms of the splatter reaching towards them as they walked in through the door. All they had to do was follow the many radio arms to the source. The body itself was hidden behind a divider. June, you should stay here. What? Please do me a favor. He didn't give her a chance to say no. He put his hand on her shoulder as if to shove her to the ground like a tent pole. Oh, I thought it was saying he actually pushed her to the ground, but it doesn't matter. He didn't. It felt like it took an eternity for him to get there. Santa and Lois followed, timid and nervous as a pair of children. Timid as a person that is going to see a dead body. as children. They looked at one another and nodded slowly. Jumpy put his hands on the divider and peered around the corner. Oh god. For a moment he forgot to breathe. He felt his heart collapse in his chest like an empty cigarette carton, and time froze. He knew that in the instance he would take the image before him to the grave. Oh my god, this is terrible. What was left of the body sat in a sea of blood. Chunks of flesh torn from the body sat in the blood like tiny islands in a great red sea. A vast rigged hole had been torn in the torso, and what remained of his intestines spilled out of it like fresh spaghetti. Smaller chunks of meat had splattered against the wall and became stuck there as they dried. Globules of yellowish fat had left trails into tiny slugs as gravity pulled them down the wall, even as they dried to it. That's terrible. His legs were both bent in an odd, unnatural way, and his left arm had split open, exposing the painfully white bone of his ulna. His bracelet lay next to him. It seemed to have hit the wall hard enough to have shattered the display, which lay on the ground in pieces. Half of his head had simply collapsed. The blood coating almost made it look like raw pizza dough covered in tomato sauce. His clothes, too, were covered in blood. The burgundy tie, the white shirt, the jacket with the yellow piping, and the gray slacks. They were all familiar to Jumpy. No mistake about that. Snake. Lotus's loud voice was unnaturally deep and strained, and Jumpy heard it catch in her throat. You guys wanted to look at it, Greeks? Okay, so, yeah, poor Clover. It's sad. Snake was probably murdered. Chances are he was killed in the same way that Ninth Man was. Why did they... Now I'm thinking about it. Remember... Remember the only reason why Snake would have even been separated from everybody is because they all decided that they were gonna look around separately. But why would you let a blind man walk around by himself? He can't see anything. So what is he gonna find? He's not gonna see anything to find. I just feel like that was like negligent. I'm not saying you should like coddle, you don't have to coddle people with a disability, but like I feel like you could have been like, hey, like just you can go with somebody. You can't like see anything. Like, you know? Pretty straightforward. It's not that hard to figure out how they did it. Oh, I think he's insinuating that somebody killed him, like, among their group. First the killers got the snake, and to authenticate the red on the to open door 3, then they shoved him into it alone. Waited 9 seconds for the door to shut. Once that door shut, it was over for Snake, and he didn't give up. Probably knew it wouldn't do him any good, but he probably ran into the shower, looking for the dead. It was a small chance, but it wasn't like he had anything to lose. Fortunately, it didn't work. The detonator is only activated if everybody who authenticated it when they went in uses the dead. And then 81 seconds after he was shoved in. Means we're looking at multiple corpses. He's insinuating that one of them did it. 2 of them did it. Jumpy crossed his arms and grunted. Well, just in case, I want to make sure. Let's say you're right. When do you think Snake was killed? When we all split up to look for the parts for the Reds. Right after that was when we noticed he was gone. And that means none of us have alibis. Anybody could be a killer. What if it's him? What if it's you? Like, you know? Wait a minute. What are you talking about? June seemed shocked. How can you say one of us is a killer so casually? It was June. If I'm right, then at least 2 of us are murderers. Why don't you calm down a bit, 7? What are you going to gain by being so suspicious? That's what Zero wants, you know. What Zero wants? This game was set up by Zero, wasn't it? Any game has a winner and a loser. Whoever makes it through door 9 is a winner. Those of us that aren't are losers. Zero is trying to make us fight against one another for that victory. And you're saying that Zero is trying to make us split up by making us fight. That's why we can't let ourselves fall prey to suspicion. We have to trust one another and form a strong bond of friendship. Otherwise, we'll end up ensnared by just Zero's manipulations. Does that mean the person that killed Snake? Almost certainly Zero himself. If there's anyone we should doubt, it should be Zero. His mastermind ended the game. He masterminded the game? What the hell am I trying to read? He masterminded this game and kidnapped all of us. Doesn't it seem reasonable that he would have killed Snake? Was Zero on the ship with us? I kind of feel like it. Of course he was on the ship. That was obvious. Zero was somewhere on the ship, but Jeffy had no idea where. Jeffy mumbled himself, lost in thought. Where could Zero be hiding? Suddenly everyone went very quiet. The silence was very cold and clammy, and Jeffy could feel it crawling across his back and down his throat. Again, he heard ghosting, moaning noise. Moments later, a person who looked more like a ghost than human appeared. It was Clover. She looked at the floor as she spoke, and her voice was cold monotone. I think Zero is one of us. No freaking way. Is he Ace? Every human body in the room froze. The only sound was the muffled rustling of breath. Eyes darted from face to face. What if it's me? Chippy said. It's possible. Like Clover said, Zero might be one of us. Did you hear what Ace said? So we shouldn't suspect one another for no reason. No reason? I've got a great reason. And what's that? Bracelets. Why are the bombs in our bodies connected to the bracelets? They're all thinking Zero's hiding somewhere. If he's doing that, then he could just detonate the bombs by remote control. Someone did something they weren't supposed to do. It'd be a lot more precise, a lot easier, but if that's the case, then why is the bomb set off by the detonator in the bracelet? I'm not done. Try applying the same idea to the Nari game. All the puzzles here are run by themselves. In other words, Zero doesn't have to be controlling them for the game to move forward. How would Zero bother to do something like that? So let's say you and Clover are right. Zero's one of us. If that's the case, then it'd be really hard for him to keep track of all of us or control anything remotely. That's why all the puzzles run by themselves. That's what you're getting at, right? 7. When we were talking earlier, you said that any one of us could be Snake's killer. Yeah, something like that. Alright, then I've got a question for you. You said something like Zero must be the one that killed Snake. So what if we combine those? They fit together pretty well. Something like this. Whoever killed Snake equals Zero equals one of us. This game is so funny. 7 and Ace's theories are mutually exclusive, but they actually complement each other pretty well. At least they do if Zero is one of us. What were his motives? Why would Zero want to hide as one of us? Because he's a sicko. Lotus sighed. Well, so much for making a persuasive argument. In other words, you've had only circumstantial evidence. I don't really think that's enough to go on, you know? Tuppy was painfully aware of the eyes on him and their disapproval. He tried to find something else, anything else to look at. Just when he felt he could bear it no longer. I heard a bell begin to ring. Uh-oh. It's 3 in the morning. It's 3 a.m. in the morning. Put my key in the door. Then we need to move on now. 7, Clover, and Jumpy. I know how you feel, but you do understand that right now it's important that we trust one another. Jumpy couldn't bring himself to respond. He swallowed the words he wanted to say inside. 7 and Clover remained similarly silent. Their eyes were looking at something somewhere else, very far away. We must go. We have very little time left. It's Ace. I don't know. Who is it? Maybe he's not even there. The next destination was Mercury. It sat and bolted to the wall near the stairs that led to the casino and the kitchen between 2 elevators. The Mercury card reader. Tuppy stood in front of it with a Mercury key card. Someone had given him the card. Found it when we were checking out the shower room. At least that's what he said. Turned green. Now they're ready. Jumpy and June had been chosen as the investigators. Okay, here we go. Here we go. All right. There were only two floor buttons I could push, C and bottom. First were destroyed or did nothing when they were pushed. Jumpy hit the bottom button. Some time later, Jumpy and June stepped off the elevator onto the bottom deck. They stepped off and saw that the hallway to the right ended somewhere between 20 and 25 feet from them. The hallway in front of them was a dead end, but not a regular dead end. It's the 8th one we found. So they just need 9? There were 2 numbered doors on B deck near the central staircase. They were doors 4 and 5. There were 3 more numbered doors in the large hospital room. Doors 3, 7, and 8. Jumpy and June found another door, and Santa found a door. There was a 6 on the door in A deck, and a 1 on the door in A deck. 4, 5, 3, 7, 8, 6, 1. And now door 2. There's only one thing it meant. Do you think the next door we find? Yeah, it's gonna be 9. End goal. Jimmy felt excited. He did his best to put it from his mind and headed to the C deck with June. A piece of paper they'd folded lay on the ground next to Jumpy's legs. There were 7 of them, all told. They were written on paper pulled from Jumpy's notebook, and each one bore a code name and a door. Why they had decided to vote that way? They decided it wasn't fair to simply ask everyone at once. That would allow people to force... What is this? Do you guys see this? Is he toxic? First one read, Ace requests door 1. Oh my god. Santa wants door 6. Clover wants 1, Lotus wants 2, 7 also wants 2. Wait a minute, there's no way I'm going anywhere with the Elephant Man. No, there'd be no point in voting if we let people change their choices. Just give it up, Lotus. It's not like I wanted to hang out with some exhibitionist grandma. I'm not an exhibitionist. I'm wearing clothes. Barely. Last I checked, it's not a crime. Maybe what about common decency? Nobody wants to have to look at a chick who looks like a half-naked raisin. Why are they doing this? Whatever, found it. Chippy, read the rest. Chippy tore his eyes away and looked at the 6 piece of paper. He opened it. June wants door 6. I don't really have a reason, I just feel like it. All the papers save Jumpy's had been read. He did some quick calculations. People who requested door was Ace and door 1 was Ace and Clover. People who requested door 2 was seven and Lotus. People who requested door 6, Santa and June. He opened the 7th piece of paper. Okay, the last one's mine. I want to go through. Uh-oh. Am I supposed to be doing math? The eeny, meeny, miny, moe. Actually, tiny events too. Which one, 2? My choice is door 2. Santa was unconvinced. Hey, wait a minute there. You cheating? I'm asking if you changed your number after you heard what the doors we wanted. How could I do that? I wrote it down on the paper. Let me see that. Jimmy shrugged and handed it to him. Santa examined it furiously. Others peered at it as well. As I did, Jumpy quickly slipped a piece of paper he'd been hiding into the pocket. Jumpy had switched papers. What? He'd prepared 3 pieces of paper for doors 1, 2, and 6 and put the paper with door 6. You know what? I gotta tell you, my intuition is correct about this guy. Like, I don't like it. I don't like Jumpy. Even though he's the character you're playing. There's something about him I don't like. There's something, he's doing weird shit. He put a small mark on it so that he would know which one was his. He kept the 1 paper in his left hand, the 2 paper hidden in his right. Then he just made sure he didn't read his paper till the end. The rest was easy. If he wanted to go in the door 1, he used his left hand. His right hand if he wanted to go to door 2. And of course, if he wanted door 6, that would be simple. All he needed to do was switch nothing and say 6 had been what he wanted all along. Well, what does that say? He fought the urge to smirk. He got lucky. Santa snorted and tossed the paper aside, frustrated. So we know he's going through door 2. It'd be me, Lotus, and Jumpy. 7, 8, 5 equals 20. The only problem is the other 2 teams. June and I want door 6. Clover and I chose door 1. It's not good. We can't open either of those doors with only 2 people. And suddenly, Clover spoke, her face blank and cold. Well, they still have 4 people. 4 people can go through a door. You know? They only need 3, they need 3 to 5 people. So 4 people can go through 1 door. Why don't Santa and June go into door 1 with Ace? They looked at one another. 3 plus 6 plus 1 equals 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. What will you do, Clover? I'll be waiting. At the stairs. You guys are coming back here, right? I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like this one bit. I don't want her staying behind. I want to be by myself for a while. You understand, right? There's no emotion on her face, but it was drawn and pale and her eyes were red. No one had the heart to contradict her. The room grew very quiet. Silence drifted down over everything like a blanket of fresh snow. It was Santa who finally smoked. Alright, I'm going through door 1. Alright with you? Wow, I didn't go with June both times because I wanted to go with Lotus. I mean, that's just facts. Someone said they'd all see one another again, and Jumpy believed him. Asan and June headed towards the central staircase. Clover followed them. After seeing them off, Jumpy, Seven, and Lotus stepped into the elevator behind them and descended to the bottom deck. One by one, they put their palms onto the recognition device. The 3 asterisks blinked. They found the dead. It had been placed just inside the room, right next to the number door. They gathered around and quickly scanned each of the bracelets. Stop. I could feel his heart pounding against the inside of his ribs. Seven and Lotus were breathing hard and fast. It was the 3rd time they'd been through the process, but they had yet to grow accustomed to it. Not that Jumpy wanted to. He planned to finish the game before he got a chance to let imminent death become commonplace. Jumpy looked around again. It was a short hallway with 5 doors along the walls. There were 3 doors down. 3 doors down. And a single one on the right. At the end of the hallway, the 5th door was covered by a thick metal plate. Jumpy didn't think they'd be able to open it. After taking a look around the room, someone spoke. All right. Let's split up. Look at the Cookie Farm. No, I gotta do what I gotta do. You know what I'm saying? Actually, I don't know why I do this one. I should do this one. I literally just want to get an albino. Just give me a freaking albino. Please, fuck's sake. Oh, I need I need 5 eggs. Shoot. My freaking playing monkey ball really fucks up your thumb. Like, it destroys it. What's this? TADC, the TADC. You know what movie I did see the other day for the first time? I'm hot. I'm hot. The movie I saw the other day for the first time was Wolf on Wall Street. That movie was fucking not what I was expecting at all. I don't know if I mean that in a good or a bad way. Because it like turns like okay, the movie it's like this guy, he starts getting, just like a normal guy. And then he starts getting like powered by greed, like money. And so he changes like his whole life around to like fit that that vainness. And so, that whole thing. So, and then he gets like addicted to drugs, and he's also like a sex addict. And of course, like the movie is really long, by the way. It's literally 3 hours long. Movie could have stopped at any time because they got they said what they needed to say, and I don't know, they just kept saying like, "Hey, let's keep going with the freaking movie, like whatever. Like this character is cool. Let's keep going." So towards like the latter half of the movie, it makes a huge turn in like tone. And what I mean is like, if you ever seen I don't know, like 21 Jump Street, which I love that movie by the way. Have you seen like 21 Jump Street? It like turns into that direction. Like I don't know where. Like, but you are like wondering what in the fucking world is going on? And why is this movie not ending? Like it just turned like fucking weird. The movie that wasn't like bad though. It wasn't bad per se. It was like because I do genuinely believe Leonardo DiCaprio is a good actor. I do think so. Um, and like the movie was interesting enough to keep watching it. It wasn't a boring movie, like by any means, but it was just a weird movie. And I have heard of people talking like on the internet, like that's like his fucking magnum opus. And I went in watching the movie with like this certain kind of expectation that it was going to be like some kind of like serious movie, especially with the whole theme with the stocks and everything, but it really was not like that at all. Like I almost think what's that other movie? His character, okay, if he's gonna play a silly character, the movie Django Unchained, like that movie is just goofy because you know that's how Quentin Tarantino is, but his I think he's way better in that kind of role. Like like I feel like it was a way better that movie was just a way better movie than in my opinion. Oh yeah, I don't think Wolf on Wall Street was Leonardo DiCaprio's magnum opus. Sorry. Citrus. Like yeah, I just don't. My throat hurts from talking. From reading that. Uh, reading 999. I did say the other day I'm also playing I'm playing a few games as I do on my own time. I've been playing Sims 4 again. And can I just complain some more? The Sims games, they're fun. And then like after a while you're like, why am I playing this? You know? It's like, why the fuck am I even playing this right now? Like life simulators? Why? Every time I stop playing though, I'm like, I feel like a sim. Like I like go and get some food or a drink and I'm just like I don't know, I feel like a sim, it's weird. Sims 4, there's a couple games. I think it might be all of them. Like while I do like pets and everything, like the idea of having pets in a video game, like particularly The Sims, it's so fucking annoying. Like I don't even want to deal with it. Like genuinely, it's just annoying. The only exception sort of to it is Sims 3 because you can control the pets. Like you can be the pet and you can like control them. But all the other games for some reason they don't have that. It's like they're autonomous. So it really just makes them really annoying. It's like a different kind of annoying. I mean, even if you have to control them, like in Sims 3, it's still annoying. Oh my god. Mm. 1,000 hatch. 3 shinies. That's it? Three shinies and one albino and 1,000? Well, that just ain't right. It better not take me 1,000 fucking eggs to get albino. That's just not gonna be good. I'm gonna lose it. Do you yawn if you see me yawning, like through the screen? Or is it only like in real life? Still 3 eggs. The other problem, uh, the other problem with breeding Milcery is, and I didn't even know this until I started doing like breeding. Cause like when I was hatching the eggs, I was like, I'm just, this is what I usually do. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get a male and then I'll have it mate with the female I have. Like I'll start mating them, like the Pokemon I want with a Ditto. And I'm like, okay, as soon as I get the opposite gender, the male, then I'll just use that and mate Pokemon. But what I didn't know is Milcery, it's 100% female rate. There's no men. There's no males. There's no Milcery men. So that makes it very, very difficult because of the fact that, the Ditto that you have, it might not be compatible with your Pokemon, you know? Oh my god. I think I am getting tired. I've been like going to bed early lately. Which kind of makes me think like maybe I should just stream earlier. I was kind of thinking about streaming earlier today, but then I was like, nah, yeah. But I guess because I was only, before I streamed, I was playing Sims for like 3 hours. I could have just started streaming like then. So, I haven't Wonder Trade in a while. I gotta get back on that. Yeah. Ugh. 4 eggs. Thank you for being patient while I do my Poke Farm tours. I love this game like so much. Pokemon. Well, I like 999 too. There's like another like browser Pokemon game I was thinking about playing. It's called Pokemon Battle Arena. And like I played it a little bit, but I just find it so it's a little buggy, you know? And it doesn't this is gonna sound fucking horrible. It doesn't like look as nice as this. It's not really like optimized for mobile as well as it could be. Could just be a me problem. Like I don't wanna fucking like, cause okay, basically it's like you're like looking around for Pokemon and catching them. But the style that they have it in is like, when you go in the Safari Zone and you can only like throw a rock or like throw a Pokeball or like bait. And I gotta be honest, I don't, the Safari Zone is like one of my least favorite things in Pokemon. So this kind of game right here is right up my alley. This is all the stuff I like doing in Pokemon. They do though. I mean, if Pokemon Battle Arena sounds good to you, like you like the Safari Zone, what I will say is there are a lot of really, really cool Pokemon on that website. So, we have 7 eggs. All right, puzzle time. See your way out. See your way out, bitch. my god, I'm so sorry. I'm like so gassy from that beer. There's a dirty blanket on the bed. There's a dirty blanket on the bed. Man, this is a mess. It's not even a bed anymore. Can't say I want to sleep there. Wait, did he go with me? I thought we were splitting up. Toilet paper tube, huh? I seriously don't mean that. This area right here is. You know how I said mannequins don't scare me? Bathrooms fucking scare me like this. This gives me the creeps. Feels loose. Here we go. Screwdriver shaft. That's a screwdriver shaft. It's missing a handle. Even if we run into a screw it fits, we're gonna have a hard time without a handle. Okay. What the fuck? Symbol of the toilet lid. Seems a little fishy. It's a sun symbol, but it doesn't look like the one on the doors. Damn, this toilet's pretty nasty, but the inside's even worse. The handle's pretty loose. Maybe it'll come off if you pull on it. Handle fell off. Look at that. The handle doesn't really fit on the string. Wait. So if I just stick this metal rod into the handle, stick the metal rod into the handle and then create a. Thank God it's the right kind of screwdriver for that screw. Awesome. Why didn't they program it like that? I didn't find it yet. Screwdriver looks like a soldering iron. You think some kind of industrial grade screwdriver? You can unscrew any Phillips screwdriver. Whoa. What is this supposed to be? Like a drawing of a whirlpool? If I had to guess, that's it. It's trying to look like water. It's a little towel drain. Doesn't look like we're gonna be able to pull it out of there. Might have to use our heads on this one. There it is. Oh, I just remembered. Ooh. I just remembered Lotus and white-haired guy went with each other. It's pretty old. If someone sat on it, probably would break. Say something? Oh no, nothing. What the hell? It's not opening. There's something up at this door. Somebody made sure this door went open. It's kind of creepy. There's nothing in here. Why would he even think to take the drawer out? It's so, like, strange. I don't know, he said there's indents, but it's kind of hard to see what he was talking about, you know? So he made wavy blue lines on the mirror. Is that a drawing of a blue scarf? Now I'm with her now. The drain is some kind of a weird shape. Think they made it that shape for a reason? Or just for fun? Filthy, disgusting moon. It's pretty filthy, but it's a precious hint. Sun, moon. Refuse to touch this. What the hell is wrong with you? I don't want to touch it ever. I guess it's the design is the two paintings on both the bathrooms combined. Something in the drawer. Something's not right. That handle in the drawer doesn't really fit. It looks messy. Yeah, there is a mirror. It's kind of weird. I use a screwdriver on the screw in the center of the handle. I think I could probably put this on the faucet. It's like a faucet handle. And the water on. Thought there wasn't any water. Chimpy, what are you doing? It's pretty obvious, isn't it? I'm running the water. I ask you why you're just letting it run like that. Think about it. This faucet didn't have a knob when we found it. Water's filling up. Doesn't that just mean the pipes are clogged? Water stopped flowing. Sink is totally filled with water. Okay. The wave and then the... Something with the... There's something to do with that, alright. This is creeping me out. It was creeping me out, I'm sorry. So, but there's no light. I don't like this. 14 equals E. Looks like a dirty toilet. Okay. Jumpy, jumpy, jumpy. What are we gonna do without Jumpy? Alright, we gotta bring the bad boy up. Know the drill. 14 equals 8. I want to get out of the bathroom like pretty quick. It's creeping me out. God damn it, no matter how hard I pull this damn thing, it won't budge. Guess I won't be opening this anytime soon. Doesn't look like it's got a keyhole in there. It doesn't seem to be anything stopping it. How am I supposed to open it? What does that say? Emergence. Maybe it means we need to emerge out of here. Nice one. So there's nothing there. So I checked all these. Uh-oh, what the hell does this mean? Oh, I say 14. See any other numbers though? But I see a red 14. He put the wet towel in his pocket. He was about to turn away when there was a noise behind him. Sprinter sees Seven kneeling on the floor. His face was rigid and pale. Droplets of sweat covered his forehead. Hey, what's going on? You okay, man? He was concerned. He'd never seen Seven like this. Slowly, the other man lifted himself to his feet on shaky legs. Yeah, I'm fine. I just got a little dizzy. Half his face was twisted as if distorted by extreme pain. What am I doing here? That's not what I mean. Not much, but I think some of my memories came back. I think I've been here before. Said I've been in this room before. Are we light? No, no. Someone's horse's voice trailed off and Jippy couldn't make out what he said. What the hell was that? Someone's brow furrowed furiously and he ground his teeth back and forth. Ugh. It's right there. I feel like I'm this close to remembering everything, but I just can't. Pulled his hat off and ran his hand through his hair. And suddenly he looked up, his eyes wide. That's right, an experiment. There was some kind of experiment going on the ship. They were trying to control people, or something like that. Owie, Light, and Nona. Those were their names. Well, some of them, the kids that were there in the experiment, I mean. I think there were 4 or 5 more, but I don't remember all their names. That's why I'm here. A little confused, but as far as Jumpy could tell, the man was simply rambling. There were odd twitches to his movements. Experiment, cradle pharmaceutical, kidnapped kids. Was I working that case? There was a hole underneath the dust. At one point, I don't like Jumpy. I think he's annoying. Someone drew a large muscled hand down. Sorry, am I talking? This is... I think I remember. I think I was a cop. I was looking for that group of kids that got kidnapped 9 years ago. It was all over the news. Yeah. Well, if Jumpy's like 21, then he would have been like... I don't know, he would have been like a teenager. He'd been like 13. He was on 12. Do you remember news articles from when you were 12? I don't. Because a bunch of kids right around my age and they just disappeared. Found something. There was this medical company called Cradle Pharmaceutical that had something to do with those kids. After I figured it out, I managed to get some information out of somebody who worked for them. He told me a ship would be leaving that night with all the kids on it. They were going to be taken to some kind of passenger ship somewhere out in the ocean. So Seven headed to the wharf. He kept to the shadows, and before long found the suspicious ship he's been looking for. There were a number of human shapes moving near the ship. They were the men in the black suits. Many of them were carrying large bags onto the ship. These looked like children in the bags. Something about the way they moved and the way they were carried. Could be no mistake, there were human beings in those bags. He had moved before he even realized he was going to. Out of the shadows he came, his gun already in hand. He heard the words, "Don't move," but they weren't his. He felt metal touch to the back of his head. "Drop your gun." With the words, he felt the cold metal thing press behind him, press against his skull. Slowly, Seven crouched down and laid his gun to the ground. But suddenly, he felt a sharp pain in his neck, a needle. Is it some sort of drug? He was thinking the chill of it was seeping into him. Damn it, shit, my head hurts. Someone woke to find himself lying on a hard floor. Twisted his neck to peer around the room. Where am I? There's a small shabby bed and a dirty sink. Toilet with no stall or privacy of any sort. As a cop, it was a place Seven had seen all too often. I'm in a cell, huh? Opposite the toilet was a door set into the wall. Seven struggled to his feet and hobbled towards it. He gave the door a good shove and then another, then tried pulling it. It didn't open. Well, that was about what he expected. It wasn't likely that someone would put him in a cell only to leave it unlocked. I knew it. Sat there for a very long time, just how long he wasn't sure. At last he began to nod off, had nearly fallen asleep, when he was roused by a distant voice. There's over there, it's 9. Voice was far away. Someone couldn't understand what it was saying. Nevertheless, it was a voice, and a high one, most likely a child. His eyes shot open. As he listened, he could only pick out several distinct voices. There were at least 5 or 6, possibly more. Where are the voices coming from? He looked around the room frantically. Perhaps the door? No, that wasn't it. Let go. Ow. Was it coming from the left? Was it coming from under the bed? He grabbed the bed and flipped it up with ease. There it was. There was a hole for ventilation in the wall where the bed had been, covered with a metal grate. Seven laid on his stomach and peered through the grate. He couldn't see anything, it was too dark. Now that he found it, however, there was no doubt it was the source of the voices. For a moment he was confused. Why were there children nearby? He remembered what the man from the Cradle Pharmaceutical had told him. How a ship would take the kidnapped children from the wharf to a waiting passenger liner out in the ocean. Was Seven on that passenger liner? It didn't matter. What mattered was that he find a way to the children. Seven looked at the metal grate. Could he fit through that hole? He stuck his fingers through the grate and grabbed hold of it. Yeah, how do you like that, you son of a bitch? Dark Square sat upon him. Seven wiped the sweat from his forehead and crawled inside. Guppy waited for Seven to resume his story. The longer he waited, however, the clearer it became that Seven had no intention of doing so. He had gone silent and simply stared off into the air. Hey, what happened after that? I don't remember what happens after that. I think I found some kind of door out of the duct. And I think I found some kids too. Oh man, I can't even remember what happened next. I don't know, I just got this feeling. I think one of the kids died. A girl, I think. Deep in his heart, Jumpy felt something very cold. Seven's head dropped and Jumpy saw a look of sadness. The large man's eyes blinked rapidly and he was fighting back tears. His sigh was like a melancholy setting of an old abandoned building. He shook his head and spoke. Anyway, just please don't ask me anymore, okay? I really don't remember anything. After that, Jumpy could hardly force any answers out of the man. There was nothing more he could do. Children had been kidnapped 9 days before. Apparently, a company called Cradle Pharmaceutical had been behind the kidnappings and had taken the children to the ship. They had been brought to the ship for an experiment, something to do with controlling human beings. 16 children who were kidnapped were the subject for the experiment. 7 said 3 of their names were Aoi, Light, and Nona. That was the new information. He also learned that 7 was or had been a police officer. He learned nothing about the honor game or Zero. He had no idea why they had been brought to the ship that had been the site of those experiments 9 years before. Could an absurd experiment really have been conducted? Before long, Jumpy realized he had spent quite some time deep in thought. No time for that. He had work to do. Jumpy shook his head quickly to clear it and returned to investigation. Well, you guys, I'm ready to clink out. I don't know. Resume this tomorrow. And, yeah. Sorry, these episodes have been kind of short, but when I upload them to YouTube, I'll probably put a few of them together, so they're a little bit longer. Or maybe, I don't know what I'll do. I've kind of been doing that, but man, they take so long to render. It's crazy. Oh man. It takes so freaking long to render like long videos. So, yeah. But anyway, yeah, check out my YouTube if you want to watch my old VODs. So I'll be posting them there. If you don't want to use Twitch, because Twitch is kind of like... Twitch is kind of shitty. I know me personally, for like Twitch streamers I just watch them on YouTube. So I totally get it. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow. I'll think about going on a little early so I don't have to like kind of ditch you. But I'm just like super tired, like yesterday. Anyway, okay, I'll see you tomorrow.